AI is not an abstract future possibility. It is here. One of the problems with the current AI conversation is that both extremes make us passive. The techno-utopian story tells us AI will solve everything if we simply accelerate, adopt, and trust the builders. The techno-dystopian story tells us AI will destroy everything and there's little we can do except fear the future. We are not spectators. How might we use powerful tools in ways that protect and extend human dignity, deepen learning, and serve the common good? Welcome to Walk the Walk, where we go beyond talking the talk. I'm Scott McLarty, head of Providence High School in Burbank, California, and in this show, we talk out of school about growing up and being a grown-up, about learning and leading for a better world. Let's get into it. Every conversation about artificial intelligence seems to come with two cups. One cup is overflowing with techno blessings. AI will cure disease, personalize education, end boring work, solve climate change, increase productivity, unlock creativity, and generally usher in the Jetsons future we were promised but never received. The other cup is empty, dry, cracked, and filled with techno curses. AI will replace workers, destroy schools, end privacy, flood the world with misinformation, make our children lazy, hollow out human creativity, and maybe, depending on which podcast you listen to last, kill us all. So that's fun. I wrote about this tension 2 years ago in a piece called Keep Calm and AI On, where I tried to resist both the breathless optimism and the apocalyptic panic surrounding AI. The advice then was simple: learn, experiment, talk with your kids, avoid the extremes, and try to keep your humanity intact. I still think that advice is right, but now I think we need to go deeper. AI is not an abstract future possibility. It is here. It's in our search engines, phones, classrooms, workplaces, hospitals, news feeds, writing tools, design platforms, college application processes, and family conversations. Stanford's 2025 AI Index describes AI as one of the most transformative technologies of the 21st century, with rapid growth in investment, adoption, technical capability, and public attention. That does not mean we should panic. It means we should pay attention. At Providence, that's our lane. We are not called to chase every trend. We are not called to panic. We are not called to pretend nothing is changing either. And we're certainly not called to hand our children over to a technological future shaped mostly by hype, fear, profit, and whoever has the biggest server farm. We are called to form young people. And that's why I think the AI conversation matters so much for schools, families, and anyone who cares about the future of humanity. This is not simply a question of which tools students may use, which assignments teachers need to redesign, which jobs may disappear, or whether schools need new academic integrity policies. Those questions matter a lot, but they're not the deeper, most important questions. The deeper questions are older and more human. What is intelligence? What is wisdom? What is creativity? What is consciousness? What is a person? What is sacred and should be protected? What kind of future are we forming our children to enter and to shape? These are just some of the questions I want to explore in this next Walk the Walk series. One of the problems with the current AI conversation is that both extremes make us passive. The techno-utopian story tells us AI will solve everything if we simply accelerate, adopt, optimize, and trust the builders. The techno-dystopian story tells us AI will destroy everything and there's little we can do except fear the future. Different stories, same result. We become spectators. And let's not be naive about this. The hype and the horror may sound like opposites, but both serve the same ecosystem of companies, investors, and billionaires racing to build and control these systems. If AI is salvation, we're told to trust the builders. If AI is catastrophe, we're told only the builders truly understand the danger. Either way, they stay at the center of the story, and the rest of us are left reacting. The utopian story says, get on board or get left behind, and the dystopian story says, brace yourself because the machines are coming. Neither is helpful to a parent wondering whether their teenager should use ChatGPT for homework. Neither is helpful to a teacher trying to preserve real learning in a world where polished writing can be generated in seconds. Neither is helpful to a student trying to figure out what skills will matter in college, work, leadership, friendship, and life. Neither is helpful to a school trying to live its mission and values with clarity and courage. At Providence, we need a better frame. We are not spectators. We are educators, parents, students, leaders, neighbors, citizens, and people of Providence. We are responsible for one another. We believe in compassion, dignity, justice, excellence, and integrity. We believe young people can and should learn deeply, lead bravely, and live purposefully. So our question cannot be, are we for or against AI? That question is too small. A better question is, how might we use powerful tools in ways that protect and extend human dignity, deepen learning, strengthen relationships, and serve the common good? That is not primarily a technology question, it is a formation question. People often say, AI is just a tool. That's partly true. A hammer is a tool, a calculator is a tool, a pencil is a tool. Scalpels, keys, and smartphones are all tools. But not all tools shape us in the same way. Some tools extend our bodies, some extend our memory, some extend our reach, our voice, our power. And some begin to shape the way we think, speak, relate, create, and imagine what is possible. AI belongs in that last category. Generative AI does not simply help us do old things faster. It produces language, images, music, code, summaries, lesson plans, emails, arguments, stories, and even prayers. It speaks back. It mimics fluency. It can feel conversational, responsive, even strangely personal. That is why it is so powerful and so dangerous. It's also why it's so weird. AI does not have a soul. It's not aware. It does not have a conscience. It does not love your child. It does not know what it means to sit with a friend in grief, apologize after causing harm, wrestle with the hard moral choice, or laugh so hard at dinner that everyone forgets what started it. And yet, it can imitate many forms of human expression well enough to make us pause. And that pause is important. We should not rush past it. There is a reason serious institutions around the world are calling for a human-centered approach to AI. UNESCO's guidance on generative AI in education emphasizes the need for immediate action, long-term policy, human capacity building, and a human-centered vision for these technologies. Pope Francis spoke directly about this moment. In his 2024 World Day of Peace message called Artificial Intelligence and Peace, he reminded us that technological development must be guided by human dignity, moral responsibility, and concern for the whole human family. His successor, Pope Leo XIV, focused on artificial intelligence in his message for the 60th World Day of Social Communications on January 24th, 2026, where he said, "Digital technology threatens to alter radically some of the fundamental pillars of human civilization that at times are taken for granted. By simulating human voices and faces, wisdom and knowledge, consciousness and responsibility, empathy and friendship, the systems known as artificial intelligence not only interfere with information ecosystems, but also encroach upon the deepest level of communication, that of human relationships." Serious people are not saying, just use the tools and hope it works out. They're saying, pay attention. Pay attention to who builds the tools. Pay attention to who benefits, who is harmed, what gets automated, what gets weakened, what gets strengthened, and what remains human. That last one is the big one. This series is not going to be a technical manual. I'm not qualified to write that, and I promise not to pretend otherwise. It's also not going to be a panic manual. We have enough of those. I want this to be an inquiry. In the coming months, we'll walk through the deeper questions AI is raising. We'll ask what AI is and is not. We'll ask whether it is actually intelligent. We will explore the difference between sentience, consciousness, intelligence, knowledge, and wisdom. We will consider what AI means for students, teachers, parents, and schools. We will look at the ethical questions around power, profit, bias, labor, environmental cost, and the anti-democratic concentration of influence in a small number of companies. We will ask what our religious and philosophical traditions have to offer in this moment. And we will try to do all of that without losing our minds. I know, a modest goal. But I think it matters, because if we frame AI only as a miracle, we may surrender our judgment. If we frame AI only as a monster, we may surrender our hope. And if we frame AI only as a tool, we may miss what it's doing to us while we use it. So what is AI? It's not our savior, it's not our destroyer, and it's not just another tool. I think it's something stranger than that, more weird and more personal. And if we're willing to look carefully, it may show us something we urgently need to see. That's where we will walk next week. Thanks for walking the walk with me. See you next time. Thank you for joining me on Walk the Walk. Please support us by following, subscribing, and visiting us at providencehigh.org/walkthewalk, where you can sign up for our email list to join the conversation. Thanks again, and see you next time.